What a season it's been for Cavalry FC. Lucky to be joined here by the assistant coach and community manager, former player, and a man who's played for Canada 50 times, Nik Ledgerwood. Buddy, congrats.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thank you.
I guess we'll rewind a little and we'll look forward. It's a huge game this weekend against Forge, your greatest rival over the 5 years of this league, and we'll get to that. But I believe you're sort of new to the not playing and coaching side. What has this season particularly been like? Because you guys have been knocking on the door, it seems like, every year for 5. And finally, there wasn't a Shield year 1. You would have had it. But you win the regular season, and it feels like Calgary's playing the best football of the last half decade.
Yeah, 100%. And it's been, it's kind of been a weird feeling in that I'm not on the field. I'm not on the pitch. I don't have direct impact on what's happening as far as the outcome on the field. But, it's a strange feeling. In the last 2 years, I've almost felt like I've taken these big strides in becoming a coach and a mentor to some of these players. And you actually have more of an impact on a bigger group of players than you did just being a captain or on the field. And, I'm starting to really relish in that role of helping out a group instead of, maybe the 1 or 2 players around me on the field.
Sure. Okay. So take us back to the scenes on Saturday.
Wild.
It was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
I don't know that, you get late September, early October, you get many days like that, but it was a gorgeous day. Felt like if you're wearing pants, it was too hot for pants. What are you doing wearing pants? And you guys do beat Pacific resoundingly 3-0, I believe. Yeah. And then you get to raise the Shield with your fans on the field. So walk me through the emotions of that, because it has been 5 years, and you were with Tommy before this even started. Back with the PDL side.
And it was all
a journey.
It was all a vision in the beginning, and I came to Calgary into the CPL on a vision, and that's what Tommy kind of sold me on, is this vision of what the CPL and what Calgary, Spruce Meadows, Atco Field could be.
Yeah, and
it was just a vision at that point, and it's crazy that in such a short time, 5 years. 2 years of that being a pandemic, what we've actually achieved in this city. And I think that goes overlooked a lot of the times, especially now that we've lifted the Shield. I think everything behind the scenes still goes overlooked in, what we do on the community side of it, as far as kids in camps, what we do with our ID programs. This is the first year we traveled up to Edmonton to do a camp. We did a camp in Red Deer and Banff. I mean, we're growing. And it's massive. And, to say that within 5 years, we've already put something in our trophy cabinet is massive.
Yeah.
And to do it on, like you said, a night like that, it was almost a majestic type feel to it. Late in the evening, first week in October, 24 above. It was unbelievable. Big crowd. It was packed. All the kids and fans running on the field afterwards. It was one of those things that, I'm glad so many people took pictures and videos of.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be memories forever.
Yeah, fair. So the regular season title had been wrapped up for a while, but raising it was a big thing. And I love that you went out on a winning note in the regular season. You didn't need to, but you did win your last 2 at home. And that has you in great form. Longest undefeated run of the season for anyone in the CPL. I think you're at 8 games without loss. And into playoffs this weekend against Forge, the stinking rivals from Hamilton. it feels like if you have to do it, of course you have to go through Forge.
I think you couldn't have written it any better way than to go through Forge. And it's what we want. It's what the boys want.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you want to lift that second cup. You gotta beat the reigning champions. You got to do it right. And they've lifted it 3 times. So now it's our turn, and the boys got a little taste of champagne in their mouth, and I'm telling you, they love it. And the biggest thing for me about this team, testament to this team, is, like you said, we already won the regular season, but we went out and we put an absolutely dominating performance on in our last game in front of our fans. We didn't have to.
In a big game for Pacific.
Big game, yeah. It was a massive. Pacific had to win for seeding, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like their season was done. But I think that just shows the character and the mentality of this group this year. And it's been unbelievable. Yeah.
3 p.m. Saturday, Atco Field at Spruce Meadows, Cavalry, Forge. This is interesting. The playoff has changed a bunch. The trophies have changed. What gets rewarded and what doesn't has changed. The league's 5 years old, and there's been 2 that have been affected by a pandemic. I get it. Regular season title has been won. There is a 5-team playoff, and you guys are the 1 seeds. You can lose and still be in this tournament. or you can win and jump right to a semifinal. What do you think of the format?
It's grown on me. When it first came out, I was like, really, we're doing this? But it's grown on me. And I think it's grown on me because of what we're doing in this country for soccer and the growth of it. It's given now 5 teams a bite at the cherry, which is a little bit more. It keeps more fans engaged. There's more home teams or home games, for those teams. And the first place gets rewarded with another bite at the cherry. With it. So I like it. I like the nuances in it. I like that first team gets rewarded a little heavier. 4th and 5th, they got to go through the gauntlet pretty much to win it. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. We'll see how it kind of pans out. I'll tell you in 2 weeks if I really like it.
You're chasing the double, and that would be something magical. It would be the first ever, because there hasn't been a regular season shield until this year, which I think was good that they did. It also has already got your ticket punched to the CONCACAF Champions League, or whatever it's going to be called, essentially North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. All the teams of all these national leagues that are at the very top of the table, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, MLS teams, Mexican teams, Canadian teams from the CPL will be competing in a tournament that starts next winter. How excited are the fellas for that when that was secured? I mean, that's the same tournament that Lionel Messi is going to be.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest thing. That was our goal at the beginning of the year, is to punch our ticket in this CONCACAF Champions League, because I think it does really set you apart from the rest.
Yeah,
this is the one that says you are one of the top teams in Canada. You're going to face the top teams in the U.S., in Mexico, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Caribbean. We have the potential, and some of the guys joke about it, but it's actually a real potential to host a team like Inter Miami, who obviously with Messi right now, but even more historic teams like Cruz Azul, Club America, Monterrey. You have some of these very big Mexican clubs that have gone on to win, the Club World Championships. We could potentially
host
that
play at
Azteca Stadium.
People.
Like when I sat back and realized that we could actually bring one of those teams to Calgary for a competitive match, not a friendly match, because there's always been talk about bringing a big team here for a friendly competition. No, this is part of a tournament. Something where we belong in now.
Incredible. That's it's quite a season. Take me back to 5 ties in a row out of the gate. I know it must have felt like the walls were caving in on the coaching staff. There's a lot of pressure to win. There'd been a lot of close, but not quite a trophy. Looking back, you must laugh, but that had to have been a tense moment for yourself, Tommy, and the rest of the team.
Yeah, it was a test. It was a test to us as a coaching staff. And, back then we kind of joked and not joked about it, but being like, Miss Southern might come knocking on the door here pretty soon if we don't get put a W up. But what I thought was unbelievable from the coaching staff, Leon, Tommy, was we rallied together and just said, do we really believe in what we're coaching the kids? Do we really believe in the system? Do we really believe in the tactics? And the answers were always yes. So for me, it was all about giving the team a little bit more time to build that foundation and trust within the system. And that's exactly what it was. After the 5 ties, we got a win, and then all of a sudden you could start seeing these little things click within the team. And you could see that the foundation was built, and then we could add those nuances in what Tommy's been so great with in the tactical nuances throughout the game, or, switching how he likes to play a little bit depending on the team. But everybody bought into it. Everybody was on the same page, and everybody believed in the end process of it.
I love that. It's this weekend. Tickets are already moving well. I imagine it's been great crowds all year. I've been really impressed with that. Given that, you did lose 2 years for the pandemic, you wonder how are the fans going to come back. It's been a banner season in CPL's history for attendance and what this club's done. We're also going to give away a few pairs. So here's the drill. Get on social media, Instagram or Twitter on our Flames Nation handle, and look for our contesting. Tag 2 pals you want to take, and tag a pal you're going to take. It'll be 2 tickets, a few pairs we'll be giving away, and you can be this Saturday 3 p.m. at Atco Field to watch Cavalry face Forge. Nick, thanks so much for being here. Congrats on a great year so far.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time. Thanks, guys.